While I was in the States recently, I went into an antique shop with my mother and came across an old strawberry truck, the kind that she said that she used to use to pick strawberries in when she was a little girl. Now, I couldn't bring it all the way back to the Isle of Man with me, but I had a look at the construction and figured I could make them myself. Hi, I'm Tanya from Lovely Greens, and in this tutorial you'll learn how to make 2 wooden trugs out of a single pallet, and at the end I'll even show you how to line one of them so that you can plant it up with plants for outdoors. For this project, you'll need a variety of tools. You'll need a saw and/or jigsaw, screws or nails, a hammer, an electric screwdriver, a steel square, tape measure, eye protection, and of course a wooden pallet. The pallet I used for this project had 7 planks running along the front side. Those combined with the 3 planks along the back side gave me just enough wood to make 2 trugs. I also have to point out that the pallet I used was heat treated opposed to chemically treated. The difference being that heat was used to sterilize it rather than chemicals like methyl bromide. You definitely do not want to use pallets that have been treated chemically in your home or garden, and the easiest way to figure out whether it has been treated is to look for a stamp on the pallet. If you see DBHT, it means that it has been heat treated. If you see DBMB, it has been treated with chemicals. Having a jigsaw makes the first step of this project both easy and quick. What you do is you cut the planks between the 3 separating components on the pallet. At the end, you'll have 14 shorter planks to use. Now, after cutting all the planks, you'll have the 14 pieces. And if you assemble them, you'll see that they make just about 2 trugs, or at least the box components of the trug. To make up those last 2 sides for the second box component, as well as to form the handles of the trugs, we're going to have to flip over the pallet and take the 3 planks off the other side. Now that you've cut all of the wood off of the pallet, it's time now to trim and square your wood to measure. Squaring, by the way, just means making sure that all of the corners are 90-degree angles, and you can accomplish this easily with a tool called a steel square. You'll need 11 pieces of wood to make a single trug. 10 of these pieces you'll have removed from the pallet. The last piece, the handlebar, you'll have to source from someplace else. It could be an old broom handle or a piece of wood that you've got lying about. Now for the measurements. You'll need 6 planks that are all the same length. I used 16 inches for my measurement, although your measurement might be a little bit longer or a little bit shorter, dependent on how much wood you're able to reclaim from the pallet. These 6 planks we're going to name as A, and they form 4 planks for the bottom of the box component of the trug, and 2 that are the long sides. The next 2 pieces, we'll call B, are going to be the length of those 4 planks that run along the bottom side. And you also have to add on a little bit of length to cover up the ends of the other 2 walls of the box component. So the width of these is going to be of the 4 planks that run along the bottom plus the depth of 2 of the A planks. You'll also need 2 pieces that are cut to form the handles, the high handles on either side of the trug. And the measurement that I used was 9 inches for the first trug and 12 inches for the second trug. The height is completely dependent on your own personal preference, although I chose the 12 inches to create a little bit of extra height for growing plants. Now, your handlebar is the last piece. That's the piece that you had to source away from the pallet. It's going to be the length of one of the A planks plus the depth of 2 of the B planks. Next, we're going to create the picket shape at the tops of our 2 C planks. It's actually very easy to create the angles. First, center the handlebar in the center of your C plank. Make a mark right where the handlebar hits the plank, and take that measurement and multiply it by 1.5. Measure down the outside part of the C plank and make another mark. Connect those 2 points and you have the angle you'll need to cut to create your picket shape. We're now going to use the 2 C pieces and the D piece to create the handlebar component. I'm using screws for this project, and the easiest way that I find to use them is to first hammer them in a bit and then use an electric screwdriver to screw them all the way in. So center the handlebar at the tops of the picket areas, screw them together, and you'll have the handlebar component that you'll fit over the box towards the end of the project. To form the box component of the trug, you'll need to take 2 of the A sides, one which will be the side and one which will actually be the bottom, and you'll want to screw them together, ensuring that the piece that's going to be the side is flush with the surface that you're working on. You don't want it sitting on top of the piece that's going to be one of the floorboards of the trug. At the end of this part of the project, you'll have the 2 angled corners that form the long sides of the box component of your trug. Next, you'll take one of those angled corners and you're going to fit one of the shorter walls onto the other side. Once that second wall has been secured, stand the piece you're working on upright and screw in 2 more of the pieces that form the floor of the trug. The box component should have 2 sides on it and 3 of the floorboards now. Once you've accomplished that, then you'll take that last piece that you've already fitted together, that forms one of the long sides, and you'll screw that on too. Through a mixture of wonky and warped pallet wood and my own imprecise carpentry, this is definitely going to be a rustic piece. But that last piece, the 4th side, should screw on just fine. Now all we've got to do is fit the handlebar component over the side. It should slide on easily. And screw it onto the box component using at least 2 screws. And that's it. Your trug is pretty much complete. Though it's a bit heavy to be used as a traditional trug, you could use it throughout the home for decor. You could use it to store goods in. You could use it as a planter, or use it for whatever you'd like, really. Here's an idea. Use it as a decorative rustic trug to serve tea in. And if you'd like to learn how to convert it into a planter, check out my next video. If you enjoyed this tutorial from Lovely Greens, check out some of my other videos, including my version of Lush's Angels on Bare Skin, a soapless cleanser, how to make a better strawberry palette planter, and finally, taking the trug from this tutorial and converting it into a planter. Thank you so much for watching, and catch you in another video.